All right, Tigers here with Coach Coffey, and it's a big game tonight against Enid, but last night was a really big one and a close win against Union. Take me through those final moments and how it went down.
You know, first of all, I just know rival games are huge, you know, and you just never know. You may be the better team, but in rival games, people are going to step up and make big plays, and that's what Union did last night. But we were down 11, you know, going into the fourth quarter, and our kids were frustrated because shots weren't falling, things just weren't going our way. But our kids really showed their maturity as we went into the fourth quarter, particularly from about the 4:50 mark or 4:50 mark to the end of the game. We really got after them defensively with some intensity, created turnovers, got them kind of off balance and kind of playing their own game right back at them. And I think that's what was the difference in the game.
Well, let's pivot now. We've got the Pacers in town tonight, and it's a first-year head coach, but you were just telling me you're a little familiar with her.
Yeah.
What's the task on hand tonight against them?
You know, it's a different style of game than what we played last night. Not as many like true athletes, but they're very fundamental. They have a big post game, and they've got a young freshman that's about 6'6'1". Annabelle is her name, number 33, and she is a brute. So that's going to be a big focal point for us, doubling in on her whenever opportunities prevail for us, but trying to keep the ball out of our hands as much as possible, and also to try to pick up the pace and set a tempo today that we didn't set early yesterday.
Everybody loves a good nail biter every now and then, but not maybe 2 days in a row. So hopefully a little bit more breathing room tonight, right?
That sure would be nice.
We'll see what goes down as tip-off is just a few moments away.
You know it's this, money swallowed like sis, they done perfected the kid. Got a really new single, my hater, don't be better, pull out the road, I just win. I know we got $1 million, the devil, that shit, and I triple it again. Flawless, 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 yeah, flawless, 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 yeah, flawless, 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 yeah, flawless, 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 yeah. You know it's this, take a perk and talk it and see. Money swallowed like sis, they done perfected the kid. Got a really new single, my hater, don't be better, pull out the road, I just win. I know we got $1 million, the devil, that shit, and I triple it again. Flawless, 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 yeah, flawless, 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 yeah.
Well, as the lights come back on, it's just about showtime here inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. The Broken Arrow Lady Tigers taking on the Enid Pacers here in some Friday night action on the backside of a back-to-back. Dylan Rivera here alongside me, Coach Tiff Jones. On the sidelines, we've got Madison Dildine. And Coach, we'll start with the starting lineups for Broken Arrow. It's the usual starting five. Macy Maracini at point guard. She wears number 0. It'll be Peyton Dole on the outside, number 22. Number 23, Rakaya Bowen. She's a senior. And number 25, Mackenzie Mathurin. And number 33, Taryn Jacobs, also a senior. She gets the start at the forward position. And Taryn may have the hardest task tonight, but maybe not one that they know of from previous meetings. This is a freshman that Taryn Jacobs is about to go up against.
I'd say that's something, senior versus freshman, right? Just, I will say in 24 hours, a very different look for a team that we're playing tonight as compared to last night. And so the physical nature that we're going to need from Taryn tonight, it was much more athletic last night. And tonight is just going to be a blue-collar showdown is what it's going to be in the paint.
That's how they like things out in Enid, I think.
I think
blue collar. Starting lineups for Enid, it's Talera Williams, the point guard. She wears number 1. Number 4 is Sage Hafner. Number 14 is Gracie Combrink. Number 23, Amariana Solomon. And number 33, inside, the player we just discussed, is Annabelle Miller. She's actually listed on here as a sophomore. Coach told me earlier she was a freshman, so somebody's got it wrong. But either way, she will be a presence inside. He mentioned how physical she can get, and so Coach Coffey had her circled on the scouting report, and Taryn Jacobs will have her hands full, and already she's going down into work.
Like first possession, she handles the ball immediately, and it looks like the offense goes through her tonight.
Right up at the top. Going to try to turn her into a facilitator. That's one of the keys for tonight. Trying to create some havoc and force some turnovers. For the rest of the keys for tonight, let's go down to Madison Dildine.
So we have to block out and rebound, and we need to hold our ground and avoid getting out-hustled or pushed around, and finally get on them early, take care of the ball, and continue to play with intensity. Dylan.
All right, intensity. That's something that Coach Coffey was not necessarily happy with last time out against Union. He mentioned how it felt like they were lacking aggressiveness in that first half, but obviously they came away with the W yesterday.
Well, right off the bat, Enid gets an offensive rebound. This looks a lot like the first possession last night. It was an offensive rebound and a bucket. So
the finish inside by Talera Williams, and that's our opening bucket for the game.
24 hours after an emotional win.
And that pass zips out of play. Mathurin was trying to connect with Bowen down in the corner, and it wasn't there.
Different look tonight, Dylan. We're picking up full court right off the bat, and so that pressure, we'll half court in the first possession, and now getting full court. Looks like we're going to make them handle the ball, put some pressure on them.
And not normal to see a back-to-back in high school basketball. They had a non-district game against Union last night, and then, of course, the district game against Enid tonight.
And for us, a lot of games and not very many days, right?
7 games in 11 days after tonight. And Coach Coffey said he was starting to wonder if maybe yesterday that was catching up to these Tigers. And he said there may be implementation of some earlier and more often substitutions to try to keep some fresh legs on the floor. Outside Dolan in the corner. She'll fire up the three-point attempt. It's offline. And the rebound with Mathurin. Now to the other side. That one's a 2-ball, but a rebound. Bowen inside. The left-hand layup won't go. And Enid has it in their hands.
First thing I noticed on that possession is the ball movement. We had better ball movement, going in and out, getting them, making them defensively change and rotate side to side. That's what we need to do. And then last night there were a lack of assist, and maybe that's been a focus our Coach Coffey talked to the Lady Tigers about, was just sharing the ball and getting more team looks, I'll say. Rebound by Bowen. Mathurin pushing it the other way. Marasini from outside. Bottom. The Tigers are on the score sheet. I'm sure Macy feels a lot better about that than maybe some of the shots last night that we had a hard time for a little bit scoring, huh? I think she finished with, it was either 4 or 5, maybe 6, somewhere in that ballpark. Definitely well below her averages. Didn't want to get started off the same way she did last time. She was frustrated yesterday. Got a floater to go in those first couple of minutes, but then couldn't really find her rhythm after that. Right, and that looked just natural. It was a great shot in rhythm. Once again, a good way to start the game for Macy after last night. Get the bad taste out of your mouth. The Tigers take over on offense. Got Taryn Jacobs at the high post, fed down into the block. Mathurin turns and shoots, and it's not there. Enid looking a little uncomfortable there, handling the ball. Miller just goes coast to coast and floats one up over the top of Dolan. And Annabelle Miller scores her first basket on the night. Bowen pulls up from the free throw line, and it'll bounce all around the rim and roll its way in. Tonight will be, I think it would be good for us once again. How many players can we have scoring? Annabelle Miller goes for that left-hand layup. Can't get it to drop. Ball goes soaring right onto the sideline, and it will stay with Enid. Good hustle from both Annabelle Miller and Rakaya Bowen. Bowen's already got 3 rebounds, and we're barely not quite 4 minutes into the first quarter, so seeing her crash the boards once again, just to continue to see her grow and being more aggressive offensively and defensively on the boards.
That was one thing that Coach Coffey wanted to make sure that they handled today was the rebound battle. Not only said that he wants to win it, he wants to dominate the rebound battle today.
I talked to Coach Coffey after the game last night, and when you can win a game and not control the boards, you're not going to win a lot of games when you don't out-rebound the other team. And so last night, to be out-rebounded and come out with the W, once again goes back to the effort and the intensity. You know, that fourth quarter was a different team last night, and so we don't want to wait till the fourth quarter tonight to start doing that.
The inbound from Hafner finds the just checked in Addison Yates. That foul was on Dolan. Driving inside, left-hand floater is good for our Amariana Solomon. Maracini drives baseline, gets around the corner, and a miscommunication. Mathurin with another turnover here in the early going.
I think we mentioned last night, Mackenzie and Macy, they played so long together. They usually, that communication nonverbal is usually there, and that was just a little miscue, I'll say, in the corner.
Just a little bit out of sync so far between those two, and it was a little bit yesterday as well. Another foul, and it should go against Peyton Dolan once again. It'll actually go against Jacobs.
I did not think it was going to be on Jacobs.
Dolan was there first, so I figured they'd call it on her, but instead it goes against Jacobs, who now has 2 early fouls, and Soraya Matthew has to check in her stead.
Well, and that means we need Soraya. We need some good minutes right here from Soraya with Jacobs off to be able to handle Miller down there.
They bring Miller outside, pounding dribbles and into the lane. She'll finish for 2.
Very aggressive for a freshman.
Kicking it over to the wing. Dolan from way outside. She's got it. Great response from Dolan. And she is a 3-point marksman. If she can get it going, that's something that can really unlock the offense and really stretch the floor.
That will get a lot of other people shots. Now they're going to get her on that one. I was like, we thought she had the other one. I think that one they're going to call on Peyton now.
No one else around this time.
That's an easy call, wasn't it?
And that's also Dolan's second foul. So 2 for Dolan and 2 for Jacobs.
A little early foul trouble for us. Peyton frustrated with herself, I think, right there, because once again, that's a good start. You had a good look, knocks down a deep 3, and then comes down and picks up that second foul.
Miller knocks down the first free throw. Substitution is Kate Wigginton in place of Peyton Dolan. Two for 2 from the free throw line, and the substitution for Enid. Sage Hafner checks out, and into the game is Gracie Combrink.
When you look at the Lady Tigers right now, you see depth. You know, we've got some subs in right now, and our ability and our depth of our bench is that's a big deal that we didn't have as much of last year, and much deeper this year.
Mathurin able to come around a lot of screens and drain the triple. And the Tigers now have 3 3-point baskets here in just this first quarter.
Touch defensively for Mackenzie there defensively. It feels like, I know it's only 11-10 with 2:19 left in the first quarter, but it feels like we've been more disruptive to Enid, that the score doesn't reflect to me kind of how the game feels right now, because they are having a little bit of difficulty getting set.
Ball goes out of bounds off of Mathurin. Sort of feels like if the Tigers can just stop some of these little easy breakaway buckets on this end, that they can really open up a lead. Ball fed over to Solomon. She drives left, can't get the shot to go. Wigginton has it popcorned around. She nearly comes up with the board, but somehow Miller's got it. Shot blocked by Mathurin. Wigginton has to put it on the floor between 2 defenders. Outside to Maracini, thought about the 3 and slows things down. Drives baseline, now a floater goes up, and she is fouled.
Once again, Kate Wigington comes in the game immediately. Look where the ball. Getting a touch and keeping it alive down there. I mean, once again, I think our depth this year, just compare last year's team to this year's team, the depth overall is so much greater, which, once again, basketball is such a long season. That depth is a big deal. Plus, you get in foul trouble. You're going to have nights you're going to be in foul trouble and be able to put new players in, so to speak, and not drop off any. That's unusual for, I'm going to say, good to above average teams. It's normal once again for the great teams because you've got to have more than 5 players.
Kate Wigington, to be honest with you, could probably be starting at 99% of schools in the state. And Broken Arrow, having her come off the bench is such a commodity. And she makes such an impact. And yesterday's game against Union, she was the X factor in that fourth quarter. Came in, forced a turnover, and got a quick layup that gave Broken Arrow its first lead in a long time.
Yeah.
But not only that, she was diving on the floor for loose balls and creating good opportunities for her teammates as well.
She did a lot of dirty work, right, on the floor, literally on the floor.
Yes.
Everything was, yeah. But I will say, she did all those things, but her energy has to rub off on people. I mean, when she comes in the game, because it's like, man, she brought something that other people weren't having on the floor, and that spark, I guess. And whatever it was good because everybody began to play a little bit harder when Kate Wigington came in the game last night. So it is, once again, you said it, I mean, what a commodity to be able to bring a player like that off the bench. I mean, that's huge because she does so many things that will not show up on she can score, she's a great defender, great passer, she can do things on a stat sheet, but a lot of what she does will not show up on a stat sheet, but it is a game-changing attitude that she brings to the floor.
And it changed the game last night. Let's just fully recap what happened yesterday. A 45-40 win over Union. 34-23, Union had the lead with 7:34 to go. And then a 22-6 final quarter for Broken Arrow. Union held the lead for a little over 10 minutes between the third and fourth quarter. And Broken Arrow's late lead came courtesy of Kate Wigington's steal and layup. And they were able to come away with a victory by 5 points. Learned afterward there was a bucket that was not credited to Broken Arrow, and it could have been a 47-40 game.
I'm going to bet that I bet somebody was visited about that after the game last night. And so, yeah, just the details. Once again, there's details down there on the table, but also there's a lot of details over the course of the game last night that could have come back to haunt us in a bad way. And so proud of the effort by the Lady Tigers last night and how they represented and what they stood for. And that was a tough win last night.
And good effort here from Soraya Matthew to get down on the floor and create a jump ball that goes the Tigers' way. 13-10 advantage for Broken Arrow in the game right now. Janiah McCrary at point guard. McCrary feeds it inside to Mathurin, who's right underneath the hoop, and that's about as easy of a two as you're going to get.
Like taking candy from a baby.
Driving inside, and a beautiful finish from Amariana Solomon.
It's a tough shot.
Fouled on the way up, and she was fading away from the hoop. That's one that I think if she had to shoot that one again, she might not drill it.
May not be the highest percentage, yes. Because it really, she didn't have an open look, and left-handed scoop shot fading away. Kate Wigington in your face.
Free throw won't go. 15-12 with less than 30 to go in this first quarter. Mathurin up top with the basketball. Now Matthew. Bowens able to drive on Miller. Had some contact, and the call comes just a moment late. It goes against Talera Williams.
I was a little curious after the whistle blew who they were going to call that one on with 3 defenders right there.
Wigington fed it to McCrary. She had enough room to shoot, but I don't think she even looked at the basket. Fed off to Mathurin, and she misses that buzzer-beating three-point attempt. So 15-12, the score at the end of quarter number 1. Quarter number 2 is just around the corner here on ArrowVision.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Welcome back live to the Tiger Fieldhouse on ArrowVision. Dylan Rivera alongside me, Coach Tiff Jones, and Madison Dildine is right there at the back of the huddle. You can see her listening in. She's trying to get all the scoop for us. Broken Arrow taking on Enid, 15-12 lead for the Tigers. Let's go down to Madison Dildine and hear what Coach had to say.
Coach said, hey, listen, they are making a lot of shots and they're sending cutters, but we have got to jump the ball and have quicker rotations. We need to see a sense of urgency here, guys.
Urgency, intensity, those are the words that he's been putting out in those timeouts the last couple of days, trying to get the Tigers to really get aggressive here.
Well, it goes back to, have we put together 4 quarters, right? All year long, if you can play 4 quarters at a high level of intensity, a lot of teams will play 2 or 3, but getting 4 together is the difference with the team becoming a great team and a championship team. That's a good possession, defensive possession right off the bat.
McCrary coast to coast and the finish with the left hand. Beautifully done on both ends of the floor by the sophomore guard. And now Soraya Matthew picks off a pass. There's some defensive intensity right there.
Well, and look, it's coming from players off the bench also. In a little bit, we're getting some minutes in, spreading some minutes out tonight once again. A lot of games and not very many days and just the legs, but we've got some players in now that look fresh, right? They don't look tired, and they're ready to make a difference. I will say, they're playing hard tonight.
Wide open in the corner, Kate Wigginton has all day, and she's going to drain that 10 times out of 10.
Great look by Macy Marasini to get her the ball. She was spotted up wide open.
At the elbow, Enid trying to break down this defense. They want to work it into Annabelle Miller if they can. Quick stop and pop floater won't go for Enid. Offensive board, that one won't fall either. And Wigginton's got the defensive rebound, Bowen fades away. It's offline.
That last defensive possession, we had much better backside rotation to prevent them from getting the ball inside. I saw Kate Wigginton literally all the way from the weak side, not just 1 foot in the paint, 2 feet. She was all the way on the offside block, or on the ball side block. Great help position.
Trying to go baseline by Wigginton, and that's not an easy task. Ball poked away quickly from Addison Yates, and a substitution now as Rakai Bowen subs off the floor, and into the game is Mackenzie Mathurin. Want to give a nod to Mackenzie Mathurin. She was one of the McDonald's All-American Game nominees. Only so many in the country get that honor and that distinction, and Mathurin one of the many on the girls' side. And, of course, she's headed to Michigan next season, one of the top 100 recruits in women's basketball, probably one of the top 50 recruits in basketball. And she plays like it night in and night out here for Broken Arrow.
She's definitely in a position where she's going to draw the other team's best defender every night out, and that's just part of being a great player. You're going to get the other team's best defender, and how she responds to that and what she does with that and how she creates opportunities for her teammates while still scoring the points that we need her to score offensively for us.
She's only got 5 points on the board right now, but we're only through 1 quarter of action. And turnover by Enid. We'll give it back to Broken Arrow.
Out of bounds to the Tigers.
little contact there, and Macy is not going to shy away from contact. We know that, right? Just that effort. They're making every pass difficult right now for Enid, and just getting the ball in bounds is becoming a struggle for them.
6 minutes to go until halftime. 8-point advantage for Broken Arrow. Mathurin drives to the left, fouled on her way up.
Good take to the basket, and
Foul called on Pacers number 33, Annabelle.
it's like
First personal
sometimes we thought we knew they were going to call the foul, and I thought I was going to look before I said that tonight. But any foul that we can get, on Miller specifically is big, because so much of the offense is going to key and go. The ball's going to go through her hands, and she's a tough matchup. I mean, really. But I'm going to say, Sarai did a great job guarding her side. Those minutes for an underclassman. I mean, I know that Miller's an underclassman, but in a varsity setting, to be able to compete, that's how you build a long-lasting program. It's not just about one season; it's about the program.
A little bit discombobulated trying to break this press. The Tigers have held them in the backcourt for a long time, and a foul or a timeout, actually.
Timeout. It was getting close. I was watching the. I love getting a 10-second count in the backcourt. Like, that is like if that doesn't get you going as a team, then you don't have a pulse.
Exactly. Well, this is the first year for Enid girls basketball coach Ali Singh. She was at Chisholm prior to Enid. Graduated from Enid, actually, in 2009. Averaged 17.9 points per game. But here's a fun fact for you.
Okay.
Played golf in college at Oklahoma and was a state champ as a senior.
I did not know that, so thank you, Dylan, for that.
There's your Dylan fun fact for the day.
Well, she is invested in Enid. That's what she in the basketball program. So good for her, and it's good to see people giving back and returning home, so to speak. Right? Feels pretty good.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know a little bit about that.
Rumor has it.
Coach Sang and the Enid girls team come in with a 5-5 record. They are 1-4 in District 4, 7th place in the district, but it is a young team as well. And a new coach, a lot of things, a lot of adjustments being made. And when shots like that fall, that might get you on the right track. Annabelle Miller flicks one off the backboard, and it's 22-14.
They've got a lot of really young players, and so I'm sure that for Coach Sang, the future is bright. It's almost kind of the opposite of where we are, because we are so senior-laden right now.
And there's a senior firing up a three-point attempt. It's offline from Aracini. But the offensive board from McCrary, fed off to Mathurin, gets the Tigers 2 points.
Yeah,
Another
McCrary gets an
turnover.
offensive rebound and then an assist right off the bat. So two positives right there.
And then a Pacer turnover, so it's
Yeah.
a 10-point advantage for Broken Arrow, and they get the ball back. Tigers lead District 4. They are first place in the district, and they are 12-1 overall, 6-0 against district opponents. Mathurin trapped, escapes trouble, gets it off to McCrary. Now Wigginton in the corner. She'll fire away from deep. Won't go. Rebound Enid, and a foul on Janai McCrary.
I thought that was a good look offensively. Once again, looks like Enid changed. They tried to a little wrinkle is moving Macy off the point and letting McCrary run the point and letting her get some experience and moving Macy more to a two-guard set. And just like that, another turnover, Dylan. I was like, oh man,
That one scared me.
Yes.
I was expecting a pass, and the ball fell, and I put my hands up. I was frightened.
I think she might have expected a pass also. I don't know, but once again, a little bit different look and a different role in minutes right here. But seeing if Enid's going to trap, then someone's going to be wide open.
Wigginton was open, thought about a three, but instead passes it back out to Mathurin. Enid in a zone defense. Wigginton drives baseline, flips it up, can't find the rim, but Bowen's there for the second chance, and she's fouled and will go to the free throw line.
Good take on for Kate being able to drive baseline. If you can beat a zone on the baseline like that, I mean, that's all kinds of trouble. And even though she missed the shot, Rakai being able to get the rebound, but part of that was because of the rotation of the zone, trying to stop Wigginton on the drive.
Bowen's first free throw is good.
Bowen's leading us in rebounds tonight with, I've got her with 4 so far. And there have been several kind of loose ball, almost I would say half rebounds that doesn't even include, but she is becoming quite a force on the boards for the Lady Tigers.
Ball picked off by Kate Wigginton, and the Tigers turn it around. Into the corner, Bowen. She's got some time to catch her dribble, and she can't make the bucket. Ball stolen away by Mathurin. Left-hand layup fouled by Miller.
That's her second, Dylan. So that puts Coach Singh in a little bit different situation with 2 fouls, and I would say that little bit of a youthful foul right there. You don't want to give up a foul at that point. When someone that's that valuable to their team, you got to think about the long game also. It's not just the next. If this was the fourth quarter, that'd be different, but there's a lot of basketball left, and as a coach, I'd have been a little frustrated with that foul, that decision-making right then.
Annabelle Miller also has 8 of Enid's 14 points. So certainly if she gets into foul trouble, the Pacers should slow down a bit. Outside, this is Miller. Bowen's all over her. And an offensive foul on Annabelle Miller.
And that's 3, Dylan. Great defense by Rakai right there. She was on her. And I think Miller thought she was just going to beat her baseline, and Rakai was like, no. She cut that off so fast, so she caused that turnover. A little frustration once again. Frustration on the play before and the turnover and the foul, and then to come down and get an offensive foul just because of she was covered up.
Well, you have a saying for that kind of defense.
Got to get up in the chili.
Offensive foul on the Tigers down here.
Wow.
I didn't see who it was against, but it was away from the play.
I'm not sure what they called there.
So Enid takes over in possession, speeding around the defense and nearly finding a layup was Talaria Williams, and now Broken Arrow with a chance from deep. Marasini, she's got it.
Look what happens, Dylan. Timeout. Coach Singh's had enough right now, and then all of a sudden it's a 31-14 lead, and once again, defense created offense.
We'll take a timeout as well. 2:59 on the clock. The Tigers in front, 31-14, live on ArrowVision.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back. We want to say thank you to some of our One Club sponsors: First National Bank of Broken Arrow, TTCU Federal Credit Union, Tulsa Bone and Joint, St. Francis, Ascension St. John, Quick Trip, Shields, the Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation, and the Arrow Group. Less than 3 to go until halftime. Tigers in front by 17. And this has become kind of the running joke here at Broken Arrow, the long buzzer we have inside the Tiger Field House.
It has, it continues to make its presence known, right? Just when you think it's done, it just keeps on going.
I think it might need to be something that just lives on and becomes a tradition, is the long buzzer at Broken Arrow.
Used to be the longest shot, the longest yard. Now it's just the longest buzzer.
The Pacers going to try to find some offense here. It's been a little bit stagnant for them. Haven't really been able to find much here in this second quarter. The Tigers doing much better defensively to do things like this. Trap and force turnovers. Ball's loose on the court once again. Enid trying to find answers. And it's picked off by Wigginton. Going from one end of the court to the other. Wigginton off the glass for 2.
Defensive pressure. I mean, that's all it was, making them make long passes, and Kate just, that was like a pass right to her, hit her right in the hands.
they forced Enid into a lot of long passes, and they're picking those passes out and taking them the other way. So Broken Arrow doing a nice job defensively to create havoc like they just did again. Janiyah McCrary with the steal. Into the corner. Marasini for three. You bet!
I'll tell you what, Dylan, can you feel the change already? Right? So different. I mean, just scrambling defensively all over the floor. Interesting call that coach still has her in with 1:45 left. That's a big gamble when it's your best player, but with 3 fouls, they can go after her and get a 4th on her.
Definitely will hurt the Pacers. That will help the Pacers right there. A 3-point ball from Hafner. Now Mathurin will try a triple. Why not?
It's raining threes, isn't it?
You're calling. Mathurin's got the answer. 39-17. Miller up top. Wigginton brings some pressure. Corralled by Williams. Trapped in the corner. And it goes off of Enid. So another Pacer turnover.
Another long buzzer.
There should be a count, a ref count for this.
Okay. We may
stick the arm out, see how long it goes.
I think last night that was in the JV games, and then tonight it seemed. Well, I know there were some in the JV games because we heard them, but it seems like they're becoming more frequent.
It happened twice, I think, today in the JV games, and I heard that it happened 3 times yesterday.
Okay.
So it's just really a matter of time before that long buzzer rears its ugly head. We'll worry less about the buzzer and more about the Tiger offense. They're up by quite a bit right now, and a missed shot from Mathurin that would have made it just 2 more. Now Enid the other way. Cut down low, can't get the finish. Offensive board, maybe a second one, but Matthews will pull it away. And I think they will call a foul.
Can't tell who.
On Soraya Matthew.
I felt like nobody had possession right there and just going for a loose ball. Did not expect that one.
It was in Yates' hands, but Matthew pulled it away, and really sort of a 50-50 ball there, but foul called against Matthew. Solomon to Miller. Miller looked a little bit stressed. She was calling out something to her teammates. I couldn't read her lips, but not happy. And a foul now against Macy Marasini.
Macy wasn't excited. I mean, I know we're sitting up here in the upstairs, but it looked like she had a lot of ball right there and not a lot of contact.
Less than 8 seconds until the halftime buzzer. We'll see how long that buzzer goes. 39-17 the score line. Enid will have to fire up a quick shot. Coach Ali Sang barking out commands, trying to draw something up, but Janiyah McCrary's all over it. Flick one up, see if you can get it.
Oh!
It rattles out. Nearly had it. The gym was ready. Everybody thought she had it, but it won't drop. The Tigers, either way, up by a whopping 22 points at the intermission. And we will talk to Coach Coffey after the halftime break. Stick around on ArrowVision.
Tiger fans, get on your feet! Make some noise for your new Tigers and tomorrow!
Hey Tiger football fans, I'm Madison Dildine, joined along new head football coach Travis Hill, and we're here at Memorial Stadium about to go 100 yards. You ready?
I'm ready, let's roll.
Let's do it. Coach, how excited is your family to have you back with the Tigers?
Absolutely, I got 2 young people that graduated from Broken Arrow Public Schools and the wife, we live right around the corner, old educators, retired now, so they're excited to have us back in the community involved in what I like to do.
The 2018 state championship team, you were a part of that on the coaching staff. What makes Broken Arrow different?
Well, it's unique. A lot of people use the term the largest school in the state, all those things, but what makes it different, it's a one-horse town, and I love it, and it's as tight a community as I've been around. And so that's really exciting. People love to be from here, proud to be from here, and those things are just so unique because you don't see that as much pride as you do in some other communities.
What can we expect over the next several months?
Well, a lot of hard work. Those are things that take place. That's what we want to challenge our young people with, just an introduction. And basically the comment was, we're talking about it. Now we got to go do it. So we're looking forward to that. A lot of hard work, a lot of opportunity to get bigger, faster, stronger, and start kind of an idea of what we're going to be doing in our upcoming 25-26 school year.
What's your message to your future team, your future coaching staff, and obviously Tiger fans?
Well, like I said, there's some little things explained to them in there. The first thing is that, no leadership, no wins, no success. Coach's leadership, we're going to be all right. Player leadership is what it's all about. That means championship. So those things were directed. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, it's not nothing we talk about, it's what we do on an everyday basis. That's what we show is what we become. So that will be the challenge that's made not only to the kids, but to the coaches as far as us trying to get back on track and go win big football games.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. QT Pay, it just makes sense.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat,
Welcome back to Tiger Fieldhouse. I'm Madison Dildine, joined alongside head coach Shane Coffey. Coach, you ended that quarter playing pretty dominant on defense. What are you looking for to finish the game?
More of that. I mean, it's simple as that. I felt like our kids, it's hard when you play back-to-back games and truly scouting. Our kids have grown accustomed to us having details, and we didn't know their personnel as well as we probably should have as a staff today. But we've made adjustments, and hopefully we can continue to build up on that momentum here in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, Madison. Yeah, it's a little bit different going back-to-back, and you also had a game on Tuesday that you were preparing for. I mean, this is, I said NBA schedule earlier to him, and he said that's pretty much what it's been. It's been that kind of a schedule.
Coming off of a tournament, playing a game with 3 games the next week, going into a tournament week, it's hard to be as detailed, I think is what he's saying, as you'd want to be on every scout, and you don't want to overload your kids. You want them to be prepared and know what people want to do. But you also, a lot of it is let's do what we do. We talked about that last night. We're trying to control tempo, and I think we've done a better job tonight controlling the tempo, and that's really been fueled, I think, by our defense.
Absolutely. And the Tigers have looked much better on this end of the floor and creating turnovers, turning it around, going the other way with it. And it's been a major X factor. And so, too, has been Mackenzie Mathurin, who's got 14 points right now. Macy Marasini has 11, and those two leading the way in the points column.
Well, and I'm going to say I was just thinking about this as the second quarter really opened things up, and we had 2 starters on the bench during the second quarter because Taryn Jacobs was in foul trouble, Peyton Dolan was in foul trouble, and really people coming off the bench are role players, which you've got to have. Great teams have great role players, and we opened up the lead with people coming in off the bench. Really, even McCrary played a lot of minutes, moving Macy from the point over to the 2 guard. It was a different look for us. A lot of subs getting to play, and all of a sudden now it's like, wow, what just happened? It's a 22-point lead.
Real quickly, I want to give a shout-out to Talea Jones, who is at ORU right now. Hit a game winner last night to give the Golden Eagles a 71-68 win over St. Thomas. That's a BA alum doing BA alum things.
It was. She was a great player in high school, fun to watch, and the energy, her smile. I mean, that was great for the program, and it's fun to see players go on and have success at the next level, and really, get your education played for, get to play basketball. I can't think of very many things better than that, so good for her. She's a phenomenal representation of Lady Tiger basketball.
Right now, Broken Arrow in front by 22 points, and it feels like this is the kind of game that Broken Arrow could maybe end a little bit earlier and get some of those subs in and get some extra minutes for maybe the underclassmen.
I was really thinking about, Madison asked Coach, what's the key to, to finish the game, and he talked about the tenacity, and I thought, ooh, tenacity. Shout out to Madison Dildine for being the tenacity teacher of the month at Broken Arrow High School. Yeah.
She didn't share that with me. She neglected to tell me she was the tenacity teacher of the week. I'll make sure to give her a nice high five for that. Of the month? Of the month. Wow.
There you go. Greatness on the ArrowVision crew right there, right?
It doesn't get much better than that. You are listening to the best of the best. 39-17, 22-point advantage. Everybody's, I think, a little bit confused as to what to do after another long buzzer. Our athletic directors sprung into action. Alton Lusk and Amanda Snyder were ready to go, and I think everybody else is still trying to figure out how do we continue to move forward when every buzzer is 30 seconds long.
Like they just took the last 2 minutes off of the halftime clock right there, and so it went from 2:20 something, and all of a sudden now that's kind of an interesting halftime right there.
So we're getting ready to start half number 2. Broken Arrow hoping for a much better third quarter than they had yesterday against Union.
Try not to think about that third quarter last night, really.
Well, then maybe let's think about the last time Broken Arrow played Enid. It was in regionals last season. The Tigers won 75-33. It was the only meeting with Enid under head coach Shane Coffey's tenure. So this is just the second time that he has seen this Enid team. And it's really not even this Enid team because this is a new head coach and a lot of underclassmen. So maybe a little bit of a different matchup than he's used to seeing with Enid.
Absolutely, because like you pointed out, it's a lot of new faces. That's a lot of freshmen playing at a varsity level, and then even some sophomores. It's unusual to have very many freshmen play at the varsity level.
Bowen gets the finish on the drive to the basket. For Enid, it's only one senior listed on the roster, and that's Sage Hafner. Everybody else is mostly freshmen, sophomores. There's a couple of juniors littered throughout, but a young team, a first-year head coach in her position. She has some background in coaching at the top at Chisholm and elsewhere, but being able to step into the shoes at Enid and try to lead this young squad is a different challenge.
Looks like Coach Coffey's calling some specific sets that we want to work on right now.
Mathurin able to get to the hoop with ease and finish with the left hand.
We gave up a layup on one end, and McKenzie comes back and layup on the other end. I think Coach Coffey won't be super excited about the fact that we gave up a layup, didn't slide over, didn't get our feet in the paint, and he's not going to want to give up layups to anybody, and especially not when you're up 43-19. It's tempting to let up intensity because you have a big lead, but that's not what Coach Coffey's looking for tonight.
Ball poked away by Bowen, and it goes out of play. Gracie Calmbrink was trying to find some room to do something, but Bowen has been all up in every ball handler's chili tonight.
Yeah, she has been. I was just looking at the number of touches and boards, and she's been all over the place tonight.
There's
and
another
just like
one.
that, right?
Stole the ball away. Got Mathurin driving on the left side. She was looking at it, but didn't want to pull the trigger on the pass. Dolan will pull the trigger from outside. Won't go. Rebound Bowen. She puts one hard dribble to the floor and can't come up with a shot. Blocked away, and now it's Enid basketball.
Crashed the boards hard. That was a tough rebound. She went and got it. A lot of contact. Sometimes you don't get that call when you're up by 20 points.
Hafner. Now up top with Solomon. Back down with Hafner. Tigers aren't giving much breathing room here.
And that was kind of the story in the second quarter, right? Enid struggled offensively, seemed just out of sync the entire quarter, but that was really, I think, due to our pressure, not because of anything else.
The ball resets up top with Solomon. Patient possession here from Enid. And a miscommunication from Enid. Addison Yates subs in for the Pacers. Takes the place of Gracie Calmbrink. Addison Yates, just a freshman. Fed inside, Bowen gets the shot up and gets it to go. Little assist from the window.
I was like, that was a great look. Clear out. You've got Peyton coming off a double screen on the other side, and then Bowen going the opposite direction.
Pass deflected by Mathurin. Marasini can't quite get it to her. Maybe just a little bit short on the pass. Pacers can't finish the layup. Now Bowen pushing the pace, going the other way. Got a 3-on-2 with Dolan trailing. Euro step into the contact and a charge.
Interesting call. I'm just gonna, we'll say that. So, that's once again getting in transition, and I think this is an opportunity for us to really share the ball a lot right now. When we get breaks and capitalize on those and execute. Great block by Bowen down there.
It's a great give and go by Enid, but Rakaya Bowen was having none of that.
She was in great help position on that possession right there because she was waiting for it. Bring it on down here.
Shot goes off the bottom of the backboard and then a foul on Jacobs. Sometimes you see those shot blockers down there. They see one coming and they just start to measure it up. They don't care about stepping over.
Their chops, right?
They just know what's coming. The hands are rubbing.
Yes.
They know what's about to happen.
It's a gift on a silver platter. And I'm sure Taryn right now, a little bit of frustration, picks up her third foul. And it's kind of been one of those nights for her. But, I mean, once again, she's a senior. She knows what she needs to do. And we gave up an offensive rebound, and then we get a foul after it. And that's going to be what Coach Coffey's going to talk about. Hey, if we board the first time, we don't give up a rebound, and Taryn doesn't get a foul right there. So just connecting those little things that make a difference, even though I know we're up by 20-plus points right now. In a tight game, those are things you can learn from in a 2-point game that can make the difference in grinding a win out.
Maracini to the corner. It's an uncovered Mathurin. It's short, but she gets her own board. Couple of nice moves around defenders and is able to finish right underneath the basket.
It's a great move to follow her shot and pick that one up.
Doesn't every coach love to see their player follow their shot?
Yes. That's like blocking out the shooter. I'm always like, how do you not block out the shooter? You should be right in front of her anyway. But for some reason, it's really tough to do, and I'm not sure a lot of players don't like to block out anymore.
Driving baseline, trying to get around Dolan. It's not there. And it'll be Tiger basketball. Good defense from Peyton Dolan.
She did a great job just being vertical, making the girls struggle once again to be able to pass or shoot over her. And wasn't sure when the whistle blew who was going to get the ball. Couldn't really tell right there, but great pass by Jacobs right there to a cutting Mathurin.
Back-to-back buckets from Mathurin. Jacobs the assist there. And it's 49-21 now. The Tigers continuing to build their lead. Miller driving baseline. Fed back up top. Now driving inside. Williams will have a short jumper. Can't get it to go, but gets her own board. And out of play off of Enid.
Out of bounds to the Tigers.
I'm looking at we talked last night about the lack of assist was kind of a struggle at one point, and then, tonight we've shared the ball a lot more than we did last night. We've got a lot more assists than we had against Union 24 hours ago.
A great one from Jacobs on that play to Mathurin. Coach Coffey brought up that assist total from yesterday. Talked about how sticky the ball was getting against Union and said, hey, let's get back to playing team basketball. Let's get back to moving the basketball and moving without the basketball.
Right.
And those kind of things can create better opportunities. He said we play our best basketball when we're moving the basketball.
Talked with Coach Coffey last night in his office after the game, and we did talk about really just, screening for each other, moving without the basketball, and that's something that I think it looks incredibly different than what it did last night, because we're executing offensively a lot better, and even you see people setting solid screens, back screens. When somebody's pressuring and you can run, a curl or a diagonal screen, back screen, you're going to get people open, and we're sharing the ball so much better tonight.
Into the corner, Williams, shot blocked by Taryn Jacobs. Big size mismatch there. Talaria Williams is probably no more than 5'2" or 5'3".
Maybe.
That might be on a good day.
Yeah.
Jacobs at the elbow. Spins to her left hand. Misfires on the shot. Enid the rebound.
I think that was a really good look because she was attacking Miller. And if we could have gotten a fourth foul on her, that's being aggressively attacking her, I think, was a smart move by Taryn.
Now Dolan on the breakaway. Gets it to Maracini. Maracini will hop step into the corner, fire away, and knock it down.
Once again, I think a deep breath, an exhale by Macy, just for tonight, being able to knock down. Once again, we shared the ball, had a great look. We've got several players that if you let them get their feet set and have a good pass and it's in rhythm. That was a pass. I thought Soraya was getting ready to just shoot the gap right there and pick that one off.
Tigers have been creating a lot of turnovers defensively, so I don't think you are way off to believe that Broken Arrow is going to continue to poke balls, step into passing lanes, maybe block some shots, but this one will fall right through. The foul on Mathurin and the bucket for Amariana Solomon.
Thought they were getting ready to call turnover right there at top of the key because there was a little bit of a travel up top.
Maracini, Dolan, Mathurin all subbed off the floor. Out on the court for the Tigers, Soraya Matthew, Rakaya Bowen, Taryn Jacobs, Janiyah McCrary, and Kate Wigginton.
It's kind of been an interesting quarter. I mean, I look up and this quarter has really flown by. Not a lot of stoppage.
Less than a minute to go, less than 50 seconds to go. Tigers have built a massive lead. It was 22 points going into the halftime break, and it's going to be padded by a long ball from Rakaya Bowen.
She's continued to fill up the stat sheet tonight, doing all kinds of things to help the Lady Tigers win.
So now a 32-point lead for Broken Arrow. 15 seconds remain here in quarter number 3. Baseline, it's Miller, able to get the shot to go, hung up there with Bowen. Still able to get the finish. Time ticking away. It's Bowen across the timeline, behind the back, pull up, and it's short. And that should close out this quarter, but instead we're going to stop the clock with just 1/10 of a second to go. The Tigers have the basketball. I think really you could probably have 2 or 3 tenths if you wanted to argue for it, but 1/10 of a second.
Can we get a tip right here?
And they will say no basket. That ends the quarter. So 55-25, 30-point lead for the Tigers as they enter quarter number 4. Keep it right here on ArrowVision to see how this one plays out.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first. If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Your side hustle keeps you moving. We'll help you get where you really want to go. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Let's go down to Madison Dildine, who was just listening in to Coach Coffey in between this third and fourth quarter. What did Coach Coffey have to say, Madison?
Quite simply, don't let up.
Oh, wow. That's maybe the shortest one we've had from Madison.
It's like, it is simple, though, right? Don't let up.
Did he just say that and then get up out of his chair and walk away, Madison? Was that all the message was? Impressive. 30-point advantage for the Tigers, and the message, just 3 words, don't let up.
Basketball's not a complicated game. Put the ball in the basket, right?
When you boil it all down to it, that's all you got to do. Out on the floor for Broken Arrow, Janiah McCrary, Rakaya Bowen, who fires up the 3-point attempt, and she's got it to go. Bowen's been heating up here late in this third quarter and now into the early fourth. Out on the floor with her, Kate Wigginton, Taryn Jacobs, and Soraya Matthew as well. Now Bowen on the fast break. Little sidestep. Layup won't go. Wigginton somehow gets the ball, and she'll go to the free throw line.
I would say we come out of that between the third and fourth and didn't let up, right? Right off the bat. I mean, we score, come down, get a turnover, get a fast break, transition. There's a body language for Enid says, oh, they're still on us. So shoulders slumping, but yes, we continue to keep the pedal to the metal.
Now 60-25 after the second free throw from Wigginton. I don't think the clock started. So I think they will go back and reset it. And there it goes. 35-point lead for Broken Arrow. Good way to close out some busy weeks of basketball. Got a 3-day weekend coming your way. No school on Monday. I know that makes you happy, Coach.
Listen, I'm excited about that. I think there's a lot of people excited about that. It's going to be cold again, but I tell you what, the importance of Monday and being able to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. and his just contribution to mankind, really. I know it gives a lot of our kids an opportunity to be involved in a lot of things happening on Monday.
And you turn around and you've got basketball back inside the field house next Tuesday. Sapulpa will be in the building. A couple of 3-point attempts. And it goes out of play. Broken Arrow basketball. It's got a little bit ugly here over this last 30, 40 seconds.
You know, in
Some
the first
substitutions.
semester, we didn't have a lot of home games, right? We think we just had one before the break, and then all of a sudden now we've hit the stretch of being able to play at home a lot. And being able to, once again, go to 6th hour, come over here, get some shots up, have a little bit of time as a team, and a lot of them probably got to go home for a little bit, and it's just different than having to travel. So next week, though, after Sepulpa, there's a little bit of a drive, but not much.
Corner 3 from Maracini, and she has been lighting it up from outside. Maracini now up to 17 points on the night.
Looking at the player panel down there, and you see 20, 17, and 14, that's a good look.
Tigers spreading the wealth on the scoreboard. And a substitution from Enid. The Pacers bring Alex Crissup out there for the first time tonight. She takes the place of Sage Hafner. Maybe giving the senior a break and letting some of those underclassmen and juniors get a little bit of work. Ball on the floor. Jacobs is on it. Flips it to Dolan. Tigers moving quickly, and they'll slow things down now with a handoff to Dolan. She shoots from outside. It's short. Pacer rebound.
Pressure defense at the half-court line continues to really bother Enid in their inability to be able to execute, but also just to handle the ball.
Ball stolen away again. Mathurin now driving inside. No look dime to Bowen. That's about as beautiful as it gets. Mathurin a little gimpy getting up. They stop the play, make sure she's good to go, and she will carry on.
Offense created by defense. Back-to-back steals, and make sure Mathurin's okay, but back-to-back steals defensively that Jacobs was involved in, and then being able to get on pressure and run, and we'll take those all night long.
More points for Bowen as well. She's up to 16 now. Another rebound for Bowen. Another fast break opportunity. Another three for Maracini. And let's just keep racking them up.
Absolutely. Great look by Rakai. I mean, just continue to fill up every column of the stat sheet. I think I'll just keep my pen right there on that line.
Don't put the cap on your pen, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And there's a foul on Bowen. Fouled hard. Miller going to the basket. And now to the free throw line.
She's going to make her earn them, right? Don't give anything free.
There's that corner three from Maracini again. She's been lighting it up from deep. Just been absolute money from outside tonight.
Two players scoring 20 points in a game is unusual, right? I mean, in a lot of girls' games, I'll say that. But balanced scoring, and we've had a lot of players that feels like kind of chip in here and there, and so that's that growth that we did not see as much of last year that we see this year. And so I love that. Was a great look, that last possession, Rakai getting the ball to Macy, who's definitely feeling it right now. Macy going to come down and spot up on her down here on this end of the court.
Second free throw was good from Miller. About 4:45 to go in this one. Tigers comfortably in front. Mathurin outside to Dolan. How about another three-pointer for the Tigers? This one won't drop. Pressure defensively in the backcourt. Still trying to create turnovers. Maybe got away with a carry. Ball ricochets off of Jacobs, and it will stay with Enid.
Williams may have some nightmares tonight from some of the Lady Tiger defenders, because they have really they started covering her when she got off the bus tonight. It's kind of what it looks like.
Driving inside, ball poked away. And a floater short right-hand layup on the left side for Annabelle Miller. I think not only the nightmares are going to happen, but I think every time they go to pick something up, they're going to be surprised when it comes with them and it's not stripped away.
Yeah.
Mathurin with a finish inside. Another 2 points for her. That's 22 now for Mackenzie Mathurin.
Another assist, another great cut, another finish in the paint. Think about shot selection tonight. We've had a lot of a lot of assists, which is great for your offense. And then the threes have, for the most part, been really good looks offensively. What you want, in and out, reversing the ball, drive and penetrate and then dish it out for the open look. And so better offensive execution tonight than we saw 24 hours ago for sure.
Broken Arrow just got the bench unit up and ready to go. They'll be subbing in momentarily. Maricini a rebound. Way up ahead to Mathurin, and that pass will soar out of play. Full substitution for Broken Arrow. Maricini, Jacobs, Dolan, Rakaya Bowen, and Mathurin will all call it a night. And now out on the floor for the Tigers, Jakira Vaughn, number 15. Number 21 is Jaylee Atchison. Number 3, Audrey Dow. Number 11 is Scarlett Shell. And number 20 is Hallie Smith.
Number 15, Jakira Vaughn, also the Lady Tigers.
So we celebrate as a coach to be able to get kids in. I mean, because they work so hard at practice every day, and for them to be able to come in and get 3 minutes of varsity time in a game, you love that for your kids because, once again, they're in practice. They're doing things every day to help that group that gets most of the publicity. Got a steal right there.
This is Jaylee Atchison. Tried to kick it into the lane. Ball spills out. Finally corralled into the corner. It's Dow for 3. Won't go. Rebound Tigers. Driving inside. Finish off the window is good. Jakira Vaughn, the sophomore guard, gets it to go. And now some substitutions on the way for Enid.
Great job by the officials right there. I mean, they know what the score is to the game, so to speak, but letting coaches get some players in right now, and they didn't have to blow the whistle right there, but I appreciate the fact that they had players waiting right there, and they're able to let some other kids get in and get some playing time. But I love when we can get players in. That's really special. And I tell you what, this is what being a team, being able to celebrate the success of your teammates, not just your own, but other people that are wearing the same uniform. That's a program builder. And so it's fun to look down and see the bench and see how excited they are supporting the people that work for them and support them all the time on the court.
You could see the smiles all across the Tiger sideline when Jakira Vaughn was able to get that finish inside. They were all happy, all fired up for her. And that's the kind of leadership you also like to see from your seniors, is when they hop up and they're screaming layup, have that hand up in the air for their teammate when she gets in on the floor.
That is special is what that is, because not every team will celebrate each other like, well, that's between a team and a group of players. Not the same.
Yeah. Feed inside, and Dow has an easy finish. Well drawn up, well executed. The assist from Hallie Smith. And Aubrey Dow gets the easy finish. Dow listed as a sophomore forward at 5'11". (74-29) Tigers. And if you're Enid, it was a long road trip out here, but one thing that you can take away from this is Broken Arrow this season is the measuring stick. And you can see where you stand with some of the best teams in the state right now when you come out and play Broken Arrow.
Well, yes, the measuring stick, and also you see there's a big difference between you're playing a bunch of freshmen and sophomores and a team that's literally loaded with seniors, and then also has some experienced underclassmen. You know, Soraya coming back this year, got some minutes as an underclassman last year, and so you look at the pieces, you're comparing, you know, what your team could be maybe in a few years, but there's a big difference between a team of seniors and a team of underclassmen, and the longer the season goes, I think that gap really, I mean, it's evident.
Enid basketball. And again, the next time the Tigers will be in action is Tuesday against Sapulpa at 6:30 for the girls, 8 o'clock for the boys. And, of course, you can catch that right here on ArrowVision if you're not able to make it out to the Tiger Fieldhouse.
Out of bounds to the Pacers.
One thing that I know Coach Coffey is really proud of is the 12-game home winning streak that Broken Arrow came into this game on. Obviously going to bump that up to 13 now. And he was talking about how much it means to him and to the team to be able to defend their home floor.
Right. I know you know, in every sport, you always want to win at home, and being able to, we want to make it an environment. And I'll tell you what, we've just grown over the years, and I know that even when you were here before, being able to have students, we want people to have a hard time when they come to Broken Arrow. Not because we're gonna cheer for our team, we're gonna act right, but we're gonna cheer and make it difficult for the other team, and in an appropriate way, right? And shout out to our students and our student activities team, but just creating that culture of what we want Broken Arrow to be. But we want other people to be like, oh, I hate going to Broken Arrow because of how great the crowd is, and I think we've created that here.
3-point basket from Brooklyn Aguilar. Saw her play a little bit in the JV game, and she drilled 2 or 3, almost on back-to-back possessions as well. So she is definitely a shooter for the Enid Pacers, and one that I'm sure will show up on scouting reports in the future as put your high hands up there and get closed out.
I feel like we've seen that on a couple scouting reports recently, haven't we, Dylan?
29 seconds remain. The Tigers way ahead. And if you are a basketball nut or you're waiting around for the boys game, that tip-off will be just in a few moments here on ArrowVision. Tigers taking on the Plainsmen. That one should be a good ball game. Enid boys come into it, number 4 in District 4. The Tigers, of course, with the best record in 6A. They are number 1 in District 4. And we close things out with the girls getting a 44-point victory, 76-32 as the final buzzer sounds. Broken Arrow keeps that home winning streak alive, extending it to 13 games now, and boy, they look good doing it.
I thought we executed really well tonight. We shared the ball. I was just getting ready, like, we have a lot of assists. I mean, it is so good to see that, because that goes back to that team win. And really, even with all of our subs in the end, we got assists at the end of the game also. And so what a way, I think, Friday night, after what feels like a really long week of basketball and school and everything else, to be able to take a breath and enjoy this, and lots of smiles. And a long weekend. The girls will get some extra rest on Monday. I bet they're sleeping in a little bit. And I know I may be. I don't know.
No longer have to worry about homework or whether or not they can have their phone out during the day. They can finally just sit at home, relax, maybe watch some TikTok before it eventually gets banned. You know, all those kind of things. Tigers come away with a big victory. And Coach Coffey catching up with the Enid head girls coach, Ali Sang. I talked to him about Coach Sang earlier today. I said, do you know anything about her? He said, well, I actually remember when she was a player because I was coaching out at Edmond.
I wondered about that, because I was thinking about that kind of that time period right there. They might have some connection there. So we're going to toss it down to Madison and Coach Coffey after yet another W.
Coach, you had a dominant win tonight. What did you learn about your team?
You know, it was just great tonight knowing that this was our 7th game in 11 days, and just the grit, the determination to fight through a little bit of adversity. We were a little sluggish to begin the game again today, but we found a way to win. We said that was really, really important, to be able to dig down deep, not just physically but mentally tonight, and they did a great job of that.
You cleared your bench there at the end of the game. Who stood out to you?
Well, I think it's important to give those young kids an opportunity. They work so hard in practice, but looking at how they play, I mean, Jaylee Atchison did a great job. I thought Jakira did a great job. Audrey Dow was cutting real well and got a couple baskets. So our future's bright. We just got to continue to work and get better.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
So another good win for the Lady Tigers. And they move now to 13-1 on the season, 7-0 in district play. And, Coach, you've been on the sidelines. You've had the team meetings. You've been in all the practices. It takes a lot of work to get to a record like 13-1.
Yeah, because, you know, every night out the ball doesn't always bounce your way, right? And so be able to, I thought last night, I told Coach Coffey after the game last night, this was going to be, I felt like we're going to look back at the end of the season, and that was a learning game for us. And to be able to grind something out, when you're up by 40, you can get by with things that maybe aren't always the best habits. But when you're having to fight from behind and really earn every possession, that we're going to learn more from last night than we are from a lot of games when you're up by 30 or 40.
So the Tigers against Sapulpa on Tuesday, 6:30 start time for the girls, 8 p.m. start for the boys. We've got an 8 p.m. start for the boys right here in just a few moments as the Tigers take on the Enid Plainsmen. So don't go anywhere. Keep it right here on ArrowVision.
forward, number 12, senior, number 2, Javon Stocks. At forward, junior, number 11, Julian Jenkins. At guard, a sophomore, number 12, Tice Fulton. And at forward, junior, number 13, Julius Mitchell. Tiger fans, make some noise for your boys. This is your Broken Arrow Tiger starting lineup. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 1, Devon Wallace. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 2, Anton Wallace. At forward, a 6'6" senior, number 5, Jay. Number 21, DJ Howell. And forward, a 6'6" senior, number 33, Logan Shapley. The Tigers are led by head coach Bo Wallace.
Well, if you don't have an electric feeling after that starting lineup run through, I don't know if you like basketball. That was fantastic. The Tigers set to tip off against Enid live here on ArrowVision. I'm Dylan Rivera. I've got Coach Tiff Jones alongside me for this one, and Madison Dildine is down on the floor. We've got a good one on the docket. Enid comes in with a kind of an up and down schedule that they've run through. They are 7-4. They've got some good wins on the schedule, but some bad losses. So it's kind of like you don't know who's showing up today.
A little inconsistency, right?
Yes.
Not exactly knowing. That's one of those nights where you're like, we got to take care of business, go out and do what we do. I would think, once again, a fast start would be exactly what Bo Wallace would order.
Starting lineups for Broken Arrow, if you missed them, are the same starting five they usually are. Devon Wallace, Anton Wallace, they connect right there for a layup. And you got J.D. Talley, Logan Shockley, and DJ Howell out there on the floor as well.
First possession, back cut, assist, points in the paint.
Now Enid on offense for the first time tonight. Starting lineup for the Plainsmen, Zaire Allen, Javon Stocks, Tay Washington comes off the bench, but Julian Jenkins, Tice Fulton, and Julius Mitchell get the start for Enid. Quick pull-up from outside, no good for Zaire Allen. Fast break opportunity, and Howell goes up for the hammer, but he's fouled.
Enid would say that was just a contested shot, but there was a lot of contact there, and DJ, once again, taking it up strong, drawing the contact, going to the line.
DJ Howell had a phenomenal performance last time out. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. Can't get much better than that. First free throw is good, and while we await the second one, let's go down to Madison Dildine for keys to the game.
Yeah, guys, first we have to keep them out of the paint and keep pressure on the ball, push in transition, communicate on defense, and get the ball inside. Dylan?
All right, thank you, Madison. Coach Dolan gave me those keys to the game tonight. It was his scout here against Enid, so he was the one that did all the homework. Really cool to have Coach Dolan on the sidelines now as well, a former player for Coach Wallace, former three-point marksman, and the older brother of Peyton Dolan on the girls' team.
Once again, people contributing but coming back to their hometown and being able to be a part of a program that's been a part of their lives and played a significant role in the young men and women that they're becoming.
It's one thing that's always a good reflection of Broken Arrow is when you see so many of the Broken Arrow Tigers come on back and rejoin the Broken Arrow family. Goes out of play, and an inbound pass to come for the Tigers. Talking about DJ Howell's performance last time out, had those 15 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. The assist numbers get even prettier when you look at the team numbers. 23 assists, and that is just a staggering number when you look at it, considering how many different guys are touching the ball, how many different shots are going up, the defense that they were going up against last night against Union. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
I say that's exactly as a coach. I mean, when a team is not reversing the ball, and we talked about sticky hands sometimes in some games, it's easier to guard. Our guys are moving the ball so well. They're sharing the ball. It doesn't matter who scores. They just want to put the ball in the basket for the Tigers. And so just like that, once again, another assist. Great finish by Shockley, who had a phenomenal game last night and picked up right where he finished off last night. Here we go.
Actually had my numbers flip-flop there. It was 22 assists on 23 made shots.
That's almost a crazy statistic to have for a basketball coach, that you can have a game like that. Had to leave Union scratching their head just a little bit about how do we stop them.
Right now, Enid's scratching their head how to find a chink in the armor of this Tiger defense. They can't do so. And a complete reset. They'll start back over. Driving inside. And a foul on the floor against J.D. Talley. And if you were here last night, you heard that a lot. He fouled out last night. Obviously, it was late in the fourth quarter, but he was in some foul trouble throughout the game, and now here in the early going, he's the first one to pick up a foul on the Tiger side.
Just the versatility of the Tigers, how they're able to switch so many ball screens and pressure.
Tough fade away from Zaire Allen, and now DJ Howell on the breakaway. Great outlet pass, and the Tigers look for that often to get things going quickly.
Rebound, get out and run. You got to get the ball first, and once again, just being able to have 5 people on the court that can handle the ball a little bit and be able to get out and run, that's hard for teams to defend and prepare against, because you don't practice against it. You've got to have the people to practice against it. It makes it really difficult to simulate what's going to happen in the game, and the defensive execution that the guys have, really, that they've had, a lot of them, we've watched them grow up the last few years in Tiger uniforms. They pressure the ball, and they will get after you.
Anton Wallace defending up top. 9-2 score line. Turns the corner, fouled, and the shot. Tice Fulton going to the free throw line to make it an old school 3-point play. Can't get the free throw to drop. Foul win against Anton Wallace. This is Devon Wallace. Steps into a 3-point shot. Won't get it to go, and it goes out of play.
It was actually, it was a wide open shot. It was in the rhythm of the offense. Just didn't fall. But once again, we're getting good looks, and it's, even though it's only a 9-4 with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, we're executing offensively, getting the things that we want.
Good defense from DJ Howell. Better offense from Zaire Allen. He's already hit 2 of those tough fadeaway shots. Clearly, he likes to lean back on his jumper. Devon Wallace driving right through some contact, put some spin on it, but couldn't get it to kiss off the glass. Stolen away. Zaire Allen, he's got numbers, feeds it off to the left-hand side, and a wild shot attempt goes out of bounds, and they say it'll stay with Enid.
The officials getting ready to maybe get together and check on this one, because DJ really, I think he was just straight up and the guy threw it out of bounds. Great job of officiating, correcting that call right there. I know DJ was a little surprised that it was called out on him, but it's why the officials don't just call a game all by themselves.
Exactly.
They've got teammates.
That's one of those where if you're playing pickup, it was a shoot for ball kind of situation.
Absolutely.
Because nobody knew who had it. This is Gene Mason. He's checked into the game. Inside tally, a foul on the floor goes against Tice Fulton.
I think we were getting ready to look for another assist right there is what it felt like, right? Get the ball inside and let Jalen score, dish it back out for the outside. Just share the ball.
Tally, nice spin move and a finish off the glass. Use that right foot to kind of hook around his defender, and that's what you're taught when you're down there in the post.
Tell you what, inside-out basketball, tough to guard, and once again, there's threats all over the court, inside, outside, but Jalen inside, and when you've got shooters on the outside, it really opens things up in the paint to be able to get the looks that you want. Make them choose your poison, pick your poison, right?
Up top, defended by Shockley. It's Julian Jenkins. Now Zaire Allen driving in, flipping it up with the left hand, and a charge, so the basket won't count.
I tell you what, as a coach, that's like the best thing. When a player stands over and will take a charge, take the hit, everybody wants to take a swat at the ball, but to slide over and sacrifice, those are things that really get the team going, and so big defensive stance there by Dow.
Cashton Mathis subs in for Enid. Just a freshman, but he is a big body. Corbin Dow outside for three. Yes, sir.
Take a charge on one end and drop it on the other, right?
Corbin Dow is one of those players that Coach Wallace just loves. Comes in, makes an impact in so many different ways. And right there, getting it done on the offensive end, and just like his older brother, getting it done from outside. This is Mathis.
I was about to say, this looks a little bit like we saw in the girls' game tonight at 6:30. Is just Enid struggling to be in sync offensively against the Tigers, or Lady Tigers, pressure defense, and that's what's happening right now as the Tigers open up a 16-6 lead with 1:30 in the first quarter.
Second chance bucket from Shockley is what gets them that lead. And the Tigers in front by 10 with a minute and a half left in quarter number one. Been a great performance already in the early going for Broken Arrow. Last time out, held Union to 11 points in the first quarter. Won that one 68-61. It was the 9th win in a row over Union. Redhawks got it down to 4 with a minute 24 to play. Obviously, the Tigers closed things out. And I told Coach King this earlier today, and he didn't even know it. I said, Broken Arrow led the entirety of that game. Never once did Union have the lead. And he said, you know what? Now that I think about it, that sounds about right.
So it felt like last night, even though that late surge was by Union, it was like we had the control of the game. It felt like the whole time. And then they didn't. I believe they hit a long three or three top of the key to cut it. And I remember when that basket was made, and then once again we responded. Steal right there by Tally.
And now Dow on the breakaway. Cuts down the baseline. Can't get that pass to find its marker. Now Tally inside, and he's fouled.
It was like turnover, and then Tally's going to be shooting free throws. Once again, just active hands all over the place. That length and size by the Tigers is difficult to simulate. Seems like so many times teams maybe they have a big, but they're not as athletic and they can't run. And we really, tempo is so important for us, and being able to get out and make somebody run with us. And it just creates some hard matchups for other people.
Right now on the floor, everyone for Broken Arrow is 6'5" or 6'6". So that length, as you say, it's not easy to be preparing for throughout the week. You kind of can't really simulate that in practice.
A lot of coaches would like to be able to have 6 or 7 players that are 6'5", 6'6", and can run and shoot and handle the ball, and that's some people's dream, I think. And maybe in this case it might be their nightmare if they're going against us.
Absolutely. That was at the free throw line again for Broken Arrow. It's been a lot of trips to the charity stripe in the early going. Second free throw good.
A little full court pressure by the Tigers, making Enid once again handle the ball, making them uncomfortable.
Good pass inside and fouled by DJ Howell. It'll be Wendell Brown Jr. that goes to the free throw line.
Sure, the Tiger staff was questioning. There was not a lot of contact on that one, and I'm sure that's what Bo was talking about down there.
We talked in the girls' game about the youth of Enid. And the Pacers only had 1 senior on their roster. We flip things over to the Plainsmen roster. Only 3 seniors on this roster. So it's a young basketball program on both sides of the coin. And right now on the floor, I think all 5 guys are juniors, sophomores, freshmen.
Isn't that kind of, I mean, once again, a tale of 2 teams. The experienced team, once again, we have a lot of seniors who have played a lot of minutes at the varsity level, and really for the guys at the state tournament, they had a lot of state tournament minutes, and then youth versus experience.
I will correct myself. Tay Washington is a senior. So 1 senior out there with all juniors and sophomores, and a freshman. And speaking of underclassmen getting out there, Troy Bell now checking into the game. Anton Wallace out there as well for the Tigers now.
Talley just picked up his 2nd foul. Well, it looks like, yeah, Talley picking up a 2nd foul early in the it's early in the game, still in the first quarter, and that's not exactly, we just saw, I think you talked about that last night. He was in foul trouble last night. Oh, they corrected that last call then maybe, because they called a foul on him, but we'll take a 3-second violation instead of a foul.
You'll live with it. 17-8 score line, 20 seconds left, and a foul on the floor. It'll go against Devon Wallace.
Foul called on Tigers #1, Devon Wallace. First personal foul, 17 foul.
Plainsmen get into their baseline out of bounds formation. Stepping into a 3, all kinds of time. Nowhere near the rim. Tay Washington drives in. Fired up a shot, and they say it went out of play. And a throw in now for Broken Arrow.
Kind of throwing up a prayer right there, trying to see if it was going to stick and hit anything. Missed iron, nothing. It was a wild rebound.
Just a couple seconds remaining. Over to Devon Wallace. He's going to have to fire. Anton will have to fire. Gene will have to fire. Somebody's got to shoot. And Mason gets one up, and it won't go. 17-8 the score after 1 quarter. The Tigers in front of Enid after 8 minutes of play. Still a lot more to come. Keep it right here on
While you are
ArrowVision.
teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Back here live on ArrowVision. Tigers up by 9 points after 1 quarter. Let's go quickly down to Madison Dildine for what happened in the huddle.
Coach Wallace was saying, hey, you know what? That wasn't a bad quarter, but we have to run the floor. He said they're 4 and 8 at the free throw line, so we've got to stay down. Dylan?
All right. Refocused, ready to go as quarter number 2 begins. Troy Bell, Devon Wallace, Corbin Dow, Anton Wallace, and Gene Mason out there for Broken Arrow. Ball stolen away by Bell. Now Wallace taking off with it. Over to Devon Wallace. Right-hand layup is good.
What did Coach Wallace transition, run the floor, first possession, get a stop, get out and run, shoot a layup.
Spun out of control. It was Wendell Brown Jr. trying to get around Anton Wallace. Was a nice move, just didn't have a handle on it.
I think what Coach Wallace is wanting is just that pressure defense to not let up, because if we can make them run with us 94 feet, that's us controlling the tempo, and I'm not sure Enid wants to get into a contest like that tonight.
Gene Mason inside, flicks it out to Corbin Dow. Now up top Wallace, fakes the 3. Gene Mason is out on the wing with all kinds of time. Couple of dribbles, mid-range jumper, rattles out. Now Enid going the other way. Tay Washington loses the handle. Enid's trying to turn the corner on Broken Arrow, and they're going so quickly that they're losing it.
It's like they're out of control offensively right now. They're playing faster. You always want to play fast, but you can't play too fast. And they're trying to play at our speed and our tempo, and I'm not sure. It looks like they're a half a step out of control.
Foul inside goes against Cashton Mathis.
Not sure. Oh, officials are wanting a player to get their shirt tucked back in. I thought, what are we waiting on a little bit here?
Both coaches barking out some commands from their separate sidelines in the meantime. Dow cuts right under the basket. Great feed, great finish, and a great play design.
Tigers coming back in a half-court set. See how the, once again, can we turn the pressure up a little bit?
Mathis going to work against Troy Bell.
Oh,
Shot
yeah.
blocked away. The Tigers going to try to turn defense into offense now. Dow, coast to coast, left-hand layup, no good, no call. Troy Bell goes up with a second chance opportunity, and he can't get it either. Wendell Brown Jr. sidesteps, shoots one up, and he's fouled by Bell.
Bo just talked about Coach Wallace in that last quarter about not putting him on the foul line, and once again, we're getting some minutes from some other people, getting some minutes by Bell, which is important. Tally's in trouble, a little bit of foul trouble, maybe not anymore. I think they took away his second foul. So Bell getting in there and playing physical, but we don't want to keep putting him on the foul line, letting him shoot free throws.
Number 12, Tice Fulton. Number 13, Julius Hilton.
Troy Bell doesn't get a whole ton of time, but so far tonight he's seen some good minutes. And as long as he can come in and make an impact, he'll certainly see more minutes as the season wears on. Good rebound there for Bell. Bell's a junior, so one of those returning players that you would expect to have some more playing time next season when some of these seniors graduate. High-intensity guy. And speaking of high intensity, how about Dow driving right into a swarm of blue jerseys and getting the finish?
Adding another dimension to his game as he's grown since last year. I love watching. Somebody can stand outside and knock down threes. That's great, but to be able to mix it up, put the ball on the floor, and get to the basket makes it tougher on the defender, because it's not just about running on with your hands up. You got to really close out and attack two ways.
Gene Mason throws it upstairs. Dow can't connect with it, but it stays with Broken Arrow. Three substitutions for the Tigers. Troy Bell, Gene Mason, Corbin Dow all sub out. DJ Howell, J.D. Talley, Logan Shockley, Anton Wallace, and Devon Wallace on the floor for Broken Arrow. So the starting 5 back on the floor. Talley was trying to connect backdoor with Shockley, and Shockley wasn't quite there yet. Stopped up by the defense. Enid going the other way. Hop step, shot blocked, fouled.
See if they're going to call it on Anton.
And they do. Second foul for Anton Wallace. You would imagine there are some times where maybe Nigel Noyes would come in and substitute for some of these guys that may be picking up their second foul right now. But he is out tonight with a sprained ankle, and he missed the last contest as well. Got hurt in that Sand Springs contest.
Well, Dylan, guess what's back?
I'm telling you.
Long buzzer.
This just needs to become a thing. The long buzzer at Broken Arrow.
Might be some memes about that by our opponents. I don't know.
It might just be an intimidation factor.
Could
though,
be.
Because I've noticed this. It's louder on that end of the floor where the opponent bench is.
Clearly.
So you just kind of annoy them to the point where, you know what, I don't want to go play at Broken Arrow anymore.
Okay.
It could be a strategy.
Could be.
Shockley in the mid-range. Kicks it out to Anton Wallace. And you've got another three. The Tigers way up, 26-8.
Inside-out offense. Getting the ball in there to Shockley, being patient, making them come down and help, and then a great look outside to get a good look. Knocking down the three.
Looks like a zone defense now for Broken Arrow. Tigers switching things up on the Plainsmen. High post, now kicked outside. Good hands from DJ Howell. The Tigers may be able to run it out now. Anton Wallace chasing it down. He's got teammates with him. J.D. Talley, the right-hand layup is no problem. 28-8, a 20-point lead for Broken Arrow right now with 4:02 to go in the second, and they have made it look easy tonight.
That was beautiful. Offensive execution, great look. Way to run the floor by Talley, and Anton just being unselfish.
Real quickly, while we are in the timeout, we want to say thank you to our one club sponsors, First National Bank of Broken Arrow, TTCU Federal Credit Union, Tulsa Bone and Joint, St. Francis, Ascension St. John, Quick Trip, Shields, the Broken Arrow Public Schools Foundation, and the Arrow Group.
Tell you what, Broken Arrow at times looks like they could just put on a clinic about how to, in Coach King's words, how to share the sugar. That's over and over. So, hey, great job being unselfish. And once again, guess what's back?
I've lost count of how many times this has happened tonight.
Well, we have timeouts, and then maybe we have longer timeouts tonight. So, shout out to our admin team as they are working through this situation. But I tell you what, there we go. Little applause in the stands from the from the fans. Maybe we just need to give our guys a little extra break tonight if we're playing back-to-back nights. I don't know.
If you're watching this game at home on ArrowVision rather than here in the home stands, this might be the one of the few times where I'm like, you made the right choice for sure, because that buzzer goes off, and if you were here for the girls' game and this one, you've probably heard it 5-6 times now.
Absolutely.
And it's getting on some nerves around here. Fast break opportunity. DJ Howell drives in, can't buy the layup. Rebound Enid. Quickly in transition, they go the other way. Fulton gets the left-hand layup to go, and the blocking foul on Anton Wallace. So an and one opportunity for the Plainsmen.
I thought Anton was there for a little bit. I mean, a lot of contact on the other end, DJ. Possession before we change, 1-3-1, half-court trap. We get the turnover. A lot of contact against DJ's shot, and Anton kind of felt like he was in the lane for a long time, I believe, before he drew the contact. It's 2 on Anton.
Corbin Dow out there now to take the place of Anton Wallace. Tigers again playing at that fast pace. Dow goes right into the chest of his defender, and they'll call a travel on Dow. Coach Wallace wants an explanation.
It just looks a little out of sync in this, not just the mechanical part in the gym, but yeah, we lead a little out of sync right now.
Brown Jr. to Fulton. It's actually Washington to Fulton. Ball was nearly stolen away by Howell. Coach Wallace said that was off the hand, but the referee says it was a kick ball. DJ Howell laughing about it as he comes back on defense.
It's just got great when you've got a player that you got to have somebody up top on a 1-3-1 that really understands the role in passing lanes, and he is so good up top, difficult to pass around, and just reads the ball so well.
Broken Arrow still showing zone right now. Drive inside, pass way too hard, and out of play for BA.
I think so many times guards up top against DJ in that 1-3-1, they think the pass is going to be open in a 2-guard front, and it looks open, and all of a sudden it's like DJ just snatches it out of the air. He just baits you into making it.
J.D. Talley, a nice move inside, and we've seen him make a couple of those quick spin moves and finishes off the glass.
That quick turn is so difficult to guard. Last night it was a different kind of defender inside that had a size advantage, and Talley's ability to go past people and score inside makes him a different kind of inside presence. That once again, a lot of teams aren't able to go against something to have somebody with that size, that length, and that quickness.
Gene Mason checks in, a travel on Tate Washington, turns it over for Enid. Still a 20-point lead for BA. Fulton defending. Shockley, the handoff to Wallace. It's actually Howell, excuse me. Now Mason inside. Kicked out to Howell. Now kick to the corner for Dow. He'll shoot the three, and it's off the target. Howell intercepts. Tigers on the run out. Feed to Shockley, and it was an alley-oop layup for Logan Shockley.
We just talked about DJ baiting someone to make a long pass. I could see that from all the way up top that he was getting ready to pick that one off. An unselfish play, gave up a good shot for a great shot.
Howell just strips the ball away, and he's on the runaway. Easy layup, and I think the defender made a business decision to guard the alley-oop and not give up the highlight play instead.
He did not want to be on somebody's highlight reel.
Driving inside, going right by Shockley because he took too many steps. That's a travel.
Tell you what, the Tigers just really talk about a defensive exhibition right now. They're just, taking it out of their hands, robbing them blind.
Absolutely did when Howell took it away just moments ago. That was about as clean of a strip as I've seen so far this season. Backside, lob to Mason. He at least kept a handle on it. Tigers still in possession. Now Talley in the post, goes to work, gets the finish.
Another assist for the Tigers.
How about another turnover for Enid? Broken Arrow continuing to just stall them defensively. Howell fakes the three and put it on the floor, but can't get any shots up out of it. 38.6 on the clock.
Looking around, you're looking at 5 players that have the same size and length, ability to shoot from the outside, put the ball on the floor. So difficult to guard when there are weapons literally at every spot on the court.
Dow pops out and drives in, throwing the hammer down. Corbin Dow, no stranger to the three-point arc. You got to respect it. You go out there and you respect it, he shows you what he can do inside. Couple of second chance opportunities for Enid, and Tate Washington's able to get the finish. Nice move from Howell to evade the defender. Floats one up at the buzzer. You bet. That gives some life back to the Tiger fans who have been watching a runaway train here in the Tiger Fieldhouse. 41-12 going into the halftime break. Madison Dildine has Coach Wallace down on the floor.
Not a significant lead as you head into the locker room. What do you need to maintain your lead in the second half of play?
Just our defensive intensity. Been really happy of
the way that we're guarding right now. They got 12 points right now, so we just got to continue to do that and then get out in transition and get easy buckets.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Surely he is happy at the moment. A 29-point lead for the Tigers, and there is still a lot of basketball to come.
Absolutely. You give up 12 points in one half in a boys basketball game, that's pretty good defense.
They were happy with the defense yesterday against Union. This is a totally different story. They held 11 points in the first quarter. How about 12 points at half?
I don't know how once again, it was just a defensive exhibition, taking the ball away from them left and right, literally sometimes taking it out of their hands. So great job by the Tiger defensive efforts.
Really cool moment down here on the floor at halftime of this Broken Arrow boys game. There's a remarkable story about Dax Jackson, a 7-year-old who attends Aspen Creek Elementary. He was born with a heart defect called tetralogy of Fallot. He and his twin brother Cooper faced incredible challenges right from the start. Dax had undergone 3 open heart surgeries, proving time and again that he is one of the toughest little guys in Broken Arrow. Cooper had his own rough start, spending a week in the NICU, but these two have been side by side through every challenge, showing the true meaning of brotherly love. And despite the battles that Dax has faced, complete with scars to prove it, he and his family live a life of gratitude, knowing that God is in charge. His strength, courage, and the incredible support of his family are a testament to the awesome plans God has for both Dax and Cooper. And a big round of applause for both Dax, Cooper, and the amazing family. They inspire us all with their faith, determination, and resilience.
Tell you what, you look at something like that and it really puts things in perspective. We take things for granted sometimes, and so I love that our community, our student body, they put so much into honoring Make-A-Wish every year and working hard for that all year long, and to be able to honor someone like in this, I think he's a little proud to have that Tiger jersey on is what I see out there, that big old smile carrying that basketball. So great job, and what an awesome testament to life. Right.
I'm sure both Dax and Cooper are having a lot of fun tuning into this game here today. 41-12 halftime score. We'll step aside right here on ArrowVision.
Tiger fans, get on your feet! Make some noise for your new Tigers and football coach!
Hey Tiger football fans, I'm Madison Dildine, joined along new head football coach Travis Hill, and we're here at Memorial Stadium about to go 100 yards. You ready?
I'm ready, let's roll. Let's
do it. Coach, how excited is your family to have you back with the Tigers?
Absolutely. You know, I got 2 young people that graduated from Broken Arrow Public Schools, and the wife, we live right around the corner, old educators, retired now, so they're excited to have us back in the community involved in what I like to do.
The 2018 state championship team, you were a part of that on the coaching staff. What makes Broken Arrow different?
Well, you know, it's unique. A lot of people use the term the largest school in the state, all those things, but what makes it different, it's a one-horse town, and I love it, and it's as tight a community as I've been around. And so that's really exciting. People love to be from here, proud to be from here, and those things are just so unique because you don't see that as much pride as you do in some other communities.
What can we expect over the next several months?
Well, you know, a lot of hard work. Those are things that take place. That's what we want to challenge our young people with, just an introduction. And basically the comment was, we're talking about it. Now we got to go do it. So we're looking forward to that. A lot of hard work, a lot of opportunity to get bigger, faster, stronger, and start kind of an idea of what we're going to be doing in our upcoming 25-26 school year.
What's your message to your future team, your future coaching staff,
Yep.
and obviously Tiger fans?
Well, like I said, there's some little things explained to them in there. The first thing is that, no leadership, no wins, no success. Coach's leadership, we're going to be all right. Player leadership is what it's all about. That means championships. So those things were directed. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, it's not nothing we talk about. It's what we do on an everyday basis. That's what we show is what we've become. So that will be the challenge that's made not only to the kids, but to the coaches as far as us trying to get back on track and go win big football games.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. QT Pay, it just makes sense.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat, and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. All within the QT app. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. You're watching Broken Arrow against Enid live on ArrowVision. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dylan Rivera. Coach Tiff Jones on color commentary. Madison Dildine down on the sidelines. We talked in the pregame about this, and I want to circle back to it because I just read this note that I have for Enid down. The boys came in on a 6-game winning streak, including a win over Edmond North. And you and I talked about it right before the game started. It's been so inconsistent for them throughout this season. We didn't know which kind of Edmond or Enid was going to show up today.
Well, I'm not sure. Yes, we didn't know which team was going to show up, so to speak, for Enid, but I'm not sure it mattered tonight because the Tigers have made a statement.
Absolutely.
And so they have left, no doubt, opening up, I'm going to say, a huge lead, right, going into the second half. But I tell you what, as a coach, you look at that, and I think I told you just before we came back, it was 17-8 after the first quarter. We gave up 4 points in the second quarter. And just, it was a defensive exhibition, literally taking the ball out of their hands, scoring in transition. And it wasn't one player, it wasn't two players. It was like we just kept subbing in and just bringing the next man up. to literally take the ball away from him and go the other direction.
It's 41-12 coming out of the halftime break. The Tigers up by quite a bit. I did the math earlier. I didn't write the number down, and I know there's probably one of my math teachers listening to this. I don't know the number. I'm going to do the math again. 29 is the number. And we begin the third quarter. Shockley, Howell, Devon and Anton Wallace, and J.D. Talley out there. Usual starting five. Swinging the ball around the perimeter. Devon Wallace will try a three. It'll rattle around, but it won't fall.
Enid trying to do anything right now to slow down the Tigers.
Quick three-point attempt is in and out for Zaire Allen. Now three-point attempt from Anton Wallace. That one will drop.
Picking up right where they left off, sharing the basketball.
Three quick three-point attempts here in the second half, combined between the two squads. Anton Wallace is the one to get it to fall. Stolen away by Broken Arrow. We said that a lot in the second quarter. Shockley driving inside, and the layup will drop in for two.
I think if you looked at our shot chart tonight, it's points in the paint, once again, Sharon, or wide open threes just because of ball movement. And so it hasn't been one or the other. It's so difficult to guard us because we can score in so many different ways.
Lineup out there for Enid is Zaire Allen, Julian Jenkins. He's got the ball in his hands right now. Tice Fulton, Tay Washington, and the three-point attempt right now is from Cashton Mathis, who somehow cashes it in. Leaves Talley unguarded on the defensive side of things and fouls him. That's a freshman out there. Drain the three and completely forget your defensive assignment.
I was going to say, it's like Talley was down the once again, we got out and ran in transition, which I know is part of our offense, and they work on that transition offense, but unusual for someone, I'm going to say, in the 5 spot that plays inside. He can just get out and outrun people, and celebrate. You celebrate the shot you made, but then you get back, and here's your man on the foul line on the other end.
The funniest part is it almost wasn't even a celebration. It was like he was just looking at his coach going, "You like that one?"
Yeah.
Came back totally forgetting his defensive assignment.
He says, right until your man got the ball back. Look who's on the floor.
Anton Wallace and Cashton Mathis both dive on it. Looks like it'll be Enid basketball.
Officials trying to make sure we didn't have any more extracurricular activity down there, right? Keeping it clean.
Zaire Allen with the ball in his hands. He had a couple of good buckets in the early going, but then got into foul trouble and has really been kept off the floor. Tay Washington with the easiest bucket we've seen all night for Enid.
I think he was surprised how open it was. No help from the Tigers in the lane that possession.
Talley on the baseline. Kicks it back up top for Devon Wallace. Now swung around to the corner. Shockley. Switching sides of the court. Anton Wallace. He knew it was good the moment it left his hand. 49-17.
Tell you what, when you're feeling it, it comes off the hand like that, you just know.
Mathis turns, fires to the corner. Tay Washington will stop and pull up from the mid-range. Can't get it to fall. Howell kicks it over to Devon Wallace. That three won't go. Now Zaire Allen pushing the pace. Back and forth we go. Tay Washington, a slow step into his shot, and he's fouled by DJ Howell.
Howell has that look on his face like, really? Because he was trying just to be vertical, make him shoot over you. He's so strong and so physical. I'll tell you what I was noticing about DJ in that last possession is Devon's out running on the wing. Just the pass hits him right in the shooter's pocket. Makes it so easy, and that's something that not everybody does. If you've got as a coach, you're always talking about get the ball in the pocket in the shooter's hands, get them where they can hit it in rhythm, and DJ just makes it look easy sometimes. And it was a great pass. I know the shot didn't fall, but it was really good offensive execution minus the part of the ball going through the net.
Couple of made free throws, and now a 30-point advantage for Broken Arrow. Quickly down the other way. They break the press easily. Anton Wallace has all kinds of time to fire away. Enid not worried about guarding it, and they really should be.
It's like, I feel like Shockley to Anton Wallace. We've seen that a couple times tonight, really, like in the last 60 seconds, basically. But, yeah, not getting out on the shooter at all. I'm a little confused why it hasn't become urgent to them.
Foul on the floor goes against Logan Shockley. Anton Wallace quickly has found a couple of buckets here in the third quarter, and he's now up to 14. 2 substitutions, Gene Mason and Corbin Dow. And they'll take the place of Logan Shockley and J.D. Talley.
The Tigers' depth, once again, comes into play. I was just looking as a player that's got 9. 3 right there for the Plainsmen. And a quick outlet pass. Here we go in transition, but player with 9 points leaves. Oh, halfway down. We bring another player in with 10 points, and so just the balanced offense right now from the Tigers.
No-look pass from Tay Washington. Howell loses the ball. Now going the other way, the Plainsmen attacking the hoop, and a nice finish inside from Julian Jenkins. Quick run out. Corbin Dow can't catch the ball. And a turnover for BA. Back-to-back turnovers for BA.
Back-to-back turnovers, and it became a quick track meet, right? And I think we're happy to play at that speed. I'm not sure Enid really wants that one, but I think we would be content to play at that pace.
Jenkins drives in, kicks out to Allen. He'll fire away from the corner, and he's got it. We've seen that Zaire Allen can score, and he can put up points in a hurry. The good news for Broken Arrow is he's had those 3 fouls for a while now. If they can draw another one on him and get him off the floor, it'll stall out this Enid offense. Gene Mason, he'll fire one from way outside and answer right back.
Lots of smiles because it's raining 3s tonight, isn't it? It's like the 3-point shooting for the Tigers has been hotter than a firecracker in July.
At least here in this third quarter it has been.
Yes.
Gene Mason to Devon Wallace now. Cross-court pass, that's dangerous, but Dow's got the time to step into a layup.
Oh.
Blew it, but he's got his second chance points. I'm sure that's one he'll laugh about later, but just happy to get the 2 points.
We call that padding your stats. He got
That's
the offensive
exactly
rebound. Yes. Filling up another column.
It'll look good when you see it on paper later.
Yes, we want the film may not so much, but the paper will look really good.
57-29, Tigers in front. 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Driving inside, Jenkins lost the handle on it. Howell across the timeline, slows it down, kicks it to Mason. Another 3-point ball is off target. Dow's there on the offensive board, and he's fouled trying to put it back up.
Transition offense looks so pretty. When it's balls in the middle of the court, we've got people out running on the wing, staying out wide, making the defense make decisions. Literally exactly how you draw it up and how you work on that every day in practice is spreading the floor and scoring in transition, and then really Dow following up, follow the shot.
3 substitutions. J.D. Talley and Logan Shockley will check in. And the first appearance on the night for Coy Lemons.
Once again, I look down, and our size for the Tigers, it's still there, much to Enid's chagrin right now. We just reload and bring in another set.
I think it's funny to me that when they take Shockley off the floor, you might start to consider it a small ball lineup, but they'll bring in another 6'6" guy who's maybe just a little more perimeter oriented.
Yes, we went from 6'6" to 6'5", right?
3-point shot, no good for Allen. Gets his own board and fires the ball away. And there's the call. They'll keep it with Enid, actually.
Had several nights like the whistle blows, and we're all trying to figure out exactly what's getting ready to happen next. I know Coach Wallace, because coaches are all the same, You look up, you're up by 30 points, 59-29. You give up a shot, you give up an offensive rebound, and then you're sitting there going, guys, block out and get the board, or go get the board. Let's don't give up offensive rebounds, because that's just a habit, and you don't want to have once again, things you can get by with when you're up by 30. But when it's a 2-point game, 4-point game, it's a whole different situation there. And so coaches are never happy. I get that. Been there, done that.
Dow on the breakaway, looking like he's going to go for it, and he'll get the layup instead. Still a good finish, still 2 points.
Coach Wallace will continue to want us to be sound defensively.
And Dow quietly has put up 17 points tonight.
Isn't that interesting, a quiet 17? Really?
I mean, you don't really know that he's got 17. You look up and you see it. He's only averaged 7.2 on the season, so this is way up from his average. And Talley got way up for that block. Nearly palmed the ball on his way down. Gene Mason into traffic, and he gets fouled.
Like he had some stickum on that one, didn't he? Just kind of grabbed it with the suction cup, hung on to it. It was like he had that for a long time before we got the ball and went in transition.
We talked about it earlier. He's one of those players that knows he's going to get the shot block. He knows he can measure up the player when they're coming in the lane and just wait on him to try it and then swat it away.
It's much like I would say DJ out top on that 1-3-1 is baiting somebody to make a pass. Talley's like, okay. He's baiting him to come inside, and once again, he's eyeing it up, licking his chops, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Getting ready to take it away.
It might make you a little bit more comfortable as a perimeter defender knowing you've got guys like J.D. Talley behind you.
Absolutely. Things you can do defensively when you've got great defenders, and you know people are going to rotate on the backside and cover for you and cover the post.
3 opportunities for Enid, and they finally get a bucket. Comes from Julian Jenkins. Gene Mason pulls up a long 2, and he's got it. 64-31, the third quarter just about closed out now. This is Zaire Allen trying to get by Shockley. Nice spin move into the lane, left-handed floater. It's good for 2. Right before the buzzer, and Gene Mason won't fire one from way, way, way down court. So we close things out 64-31. 8 minutes left to go here on ArrowVision. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter right around the corner.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
Madison Dildine just told us she's ready down on the floor, so let's go down to her quickly.
Obviously, we have a significant lead right now. Coach was still holding them accountable in that huddle. He said, hey, you just gave up 21 points. You gave up only 9 in the first quarter, 12 in the whole first half. This is not good enough. As long as you run the ball and play this game like you know how you should, we will still win, but we have to play it our way. Guys.
This looks like the Tigers playing their way. J.D. Talley climbing the ladder and throwing it down.
I think we talked about that, Dylan, just before the break there, is that once again coaches are not going to be happy, and they're going to want to execute defensively, and that's the same message Coach Wallace had down there. Talley put in a little exclamation point on that first possession, wasn't it, throwing it down?
Coy Lemons tried to fire it off to Corbin Dow. Ball turned over. Don't see a lot of Coy Lemons, but good to see him out there getting some minutes in this one. Some valuable minutes. There's a lot of time left in this one. How about Shockley? He's measuring up his steps. The layup won't go, and the Plainsmen going the other way. Corner 3, Tate Washington, too long.
tally with another rebound.
Into the corner, Shockley. Now Gene Mason up top. Dow drives in. And a foul on the floor goes against Julian Jenkins.
Kind of a subdued call there out there. I mean, when you're up 30 points, it's hard to get the crowd into the game, right? Because it's like we can do a lot of things. I tell you what's interesting, just the chemistry when you've got players on the court that have played together for so long. They know each other so well, the communication, really being able to have 5 people handle the ball in transition to get out and run and fill those lanes. And getting some other minutes, even like with Lemons in right now, is it's different, and it's such a learning opportunity for not just Lemons, but for all the other players to get to have that court time together.
Beautiful move from Gene Mason,
Nice.
pulling up from the elbow. He's got it good for 2.
I think Coach Wallace is wanting the defensive intensity to come back in, and as we had a few subs coming back in on that last dead ball.
Inside, no good for Tay Washington. DJ Howell crosses over at midcourt, crosses over again at the top of the keys, looking for somebody to feed it off to. Lemons was cutting, but he was not in front of that defender. Corner 3 for Enid. Takes a couple of bounces and drops right through.
Bounced on every inch of the rim before it fell through.
Mason glides into a 3, and he's got it.
You think he's feeling it, Dylan?
I love it when he looks so nonchalant about
yeah, I'm just going to stop right here and knock down a 3.
it. Howell, outlet pass to Anton Wallace. He'll measure up a 3, and he's been money from right there, and he's money again. Cashes out. 74-38 Tigers.
I saw just a little grin right there from Anton after that one went down. Look at his points right now. He's got a 17.
That one's been a louder 17
Yes,
than Corbin Dow's.
absolutely. He's going back to that spot.
Same spot, same shot, won't go. Enid the other way. Fulton driving inside, left-hand layup off the mark. Rebound, Devon Wallace. Some contact, and now a turnover.
Devon wished he had that one back. Just couldn't get the handles on that. Little contact, and kind of shook his head a little bit as the ball goes back to Enid on that last possession.
34-point lead. The Tigers maybe not so much worried about every single little moment of the game. Right now, like you mentioned, it's just about creating good habits, having those small teachable moments that you can take away from this.
Yeah, because you know they're going to watch film, I promise you, and break it down. But little things that you can do to continue to get better. Even against teams when you're up big, you can still execute at a high level, and you want to be able to do things right. And once again, yes, we're going to get the win tonight. I think we can safely say up 34 points at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. But Coach Wallace, these guys have been around the program. Program has been highly successful. State tournament, getting lots of minutes in the state tournament, and they want to be playing on that last day in March. And they would like to how cool it would be to have 2 girls and boys teams playing in the state finals. That would be quite an accomplishment.
It's obviously the goal every single season, but sometimes it's not a reality. And right now for the Tigers, it may just be the reality that they have in front of them. Running out in the fast break, Allen, nice move, and able to finish. And now a 4-man substitution for Broken Arrow, bringing on some of those faces that we always see game in and game out, but don't get to see them out on the floor. It's Jacob Gardner, senior, number 23. Troy Bell, number 32. We see him from time to time. Israel Wilson's out there, the senior, number 15. And James Jones, junior, number 22. Might be the only guy besides, I guess, Jacob Gardner and Israel Wilson. I was going to say the only guy we've seen tonight that's not 6'5" or taller.
Yes, a little bit different, but once again, we talked about this in the girls' game. Is coaches love to be able to get players in because, once again, these guys, they're putting in the time, they're working, they're doing the exact same things, trying to get better and trying to earn some playing time. Great drive by Izzy right there, going to the basket. But these are things that you want to do, is to be able to reward those players with some game time, and because their efforts are the same every day in practice, just like the first 5, the ones that get to play night in, night out at the varsity level.
Well, we've talked about how senior heavy this Broken Arrow team is. There's, if I counted them up right, 8 seniors on the Tiger roster. And so you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to step into bigger roles next season.
I say bigger roles and then different roles. I mean, because you think about even like Corbin Dow coming back, his progression from a sophomore even to a junior, and how his game has really evolved and continued to grow. And you know, just kind of thinking about next year, you're talking about replacing some guys that have played a ton of minutes at this very high level, and what they do offensively, defensively, the assist, all the little things, these minutes, and how these players are going to be returning next year. How do they fill those gaps, and how do they continue to improve and I'm going to say evolve as a player to help the team?
Gardner tries a three-pointer. It's off the front iron. Rebound Bell. Feeds it off to Wilson. Ball stolen away by Enid. Quick run out, and Washington can't buy the layup. Mathis can't get the follow. Tigers going the other way. Gardner driving in, all kinds of contact, and that's absolutely a foul.
That was a lot of contact. There was not a lot of doubt on that one. Even I know sometimes you want the officials to ignore the score. If it's a foul, call the foul. I mean, it's kind of funny how coaches want that, and sometimes they don't want that. But that was a pretty evident foul. Felt like they were going to call that one.
Going back to some of these players that are going to step into bigger roles and different roles. Gene Mason is a player that I talked to Coach Wallace about this week. I asked him, how do you feel about his potential? And he said, he's got all of the tools to be a really talented player. And he thinks with the ball in his hands maybe a little bit more next season, we're going to see him begin to flourish and become a star and a real stud for this Broken Arrow program.
Well, and I think about, the ball in his hands and how different it is this year when you've got Anton and Devon and DJ, these guys that have, DJ's been starting, this is his 4th year, and changing roles. He's going to be in a different role next year. And, the ball comes off his hand shooting so well. It's pretty. The backspin's there. It's soft touch. So he's got the shooter's touch. And then really his role and his leadership role, because once again, it's a senior-heavy team, just like really the girls. Both teams are benefiting from the class of 2025. They've got so much experience. And so I'm excited to watch Mason and how he's going to continue to really just improve and change his role for next year.
Of course, this is his first season at Broken Arrow. And so he's slotted in beautifully to this roster of seniors and been able to build a role as a sophomore in his first season and to be a uniform. And what he does for the team is impact it in a lot of ways, impact the game in a lot of ways at a high level. And, you talk about all these seniors and, his role right now, but what it can do is show him the path to a championship as a sophomore.
Absolutely.
These Tigers surely are going to be at least in the state tournament, I would imagine. And from there, who knows. But seeing that path laid out, seeing these seniors and how they go about their days, go about their prep work, all that sort of thing, and then build the team around Gene over these next couple of years, or at least he's one of those cornerstones over these next couple of years, and he can show the next group how it's done.
And really that's, teams can have, you see schools that have one good season, every 4 or 5 years or 7 years and have a special season. But to be able to compete at a high level year in and year out, you're not going to always have the most talent, every year. But when you are competing at a high level and you're in the mix every year and people have to really prep for you, and it's about building that program. And think about the longevity with Coach Wallace and the system. He's got assistant coaches who have been here for a long time, and really these guys know what to expect. And it starts at the middle school level, being able to work on things all the way up and execute, and then you get into 9th grade and then the importance of the sophomore program. JV games. A lot of times we don't talk about that, but players really developing habits in that court time and then JV game and learning. And then you practice against great players, and we've got a lot of great players that are seniors for the Tigers, but these players right now, they're going against them day in and day out in practice. And so competing against somebody that's really better than you makes you better. And so that's going to be evident as a lot of these younger players continue to grow and evolve in the next year's team.
77-52. Enid on offense, three-point shot. Goes all around the rim and in for Zaire Allen. And he has been some trouble for Broken Arrow on that end of the floor. He's got 17, and he'll close out likely with 17 unless Enid can find him another bucket here in these final moments. 15 points for Wendell Brown Jr. and 12 for Tate Washington on the Plainsman side of things. The Tigers have had a lot of success all across the roster. A good night for Corbin Dow, a good night for Anton Wallace, good night for DJ Howell. I mean, we could go on and on,
yeah.
but all of those guys filling up the stat sheet, and a great performance all around for Broken Arrow. An easy victory, and they come away with their 13th win on the season. 13-1, these Broken Arrow Tigers, and they're off to a fast flying start. I wrote this down before the last game, and I didn't get to bring it up. They've only had 3 single-digit finishes this entire season. Obviously, they had that one loss on the road in that tournament in San Diego. That was a 1-point loss. Then you factor in all these wins, and it's 14 games with only 3 single-digit finishes.
That's impressive because you're talking about consistently the intensity being at a high level, because you can't just take nights off and be like, we're going to win by 20 or whatever. I mean, they are consistently being I'm going to say they're being intentional with their intensity, their tenacity, and focusing. And so let's go down to Madison Dillon with Coach Wallace after that win.
Coach, you add another one to the win column tonight. What was working?
A lot of things. I don't like how the game ended, but just proud of our guys. This was a tough week for us, playing these 3 teams, and 2 of them back-to-back. So just happy to see them come away with a win. And we did some things really well tonight, but we did some things that weren't so well. So we got to get better.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Certainly, as a coach would always say, there's something to improve on. A big victory, but still the little details and, of course, the finish to this one that he'd like to see be improved.
I've known Coach Wallace for a long time, obviously worked with him in the gym a lot of times, and I kind of had a feeling he wasn't going to be happy about that fourth quarter and how they finished, but it's about continuing to get a little bit better every day, and I love that because great coaches aren't okay with mediocrity, and they want to, we got to win, but we get better tonight, and we want to celebrate that, and you always want to be happy with the win, but you're never going to be satisfied because you always want to play a little bit better.
The Tigers have a chance to play a little bit better against Sapulpa on Tuesday. 6:30 start time for the girls, 8 p.m. start for the boys. And, of course, if you aren't able to make it to the Tiger Fieldhouse, guess where you can find it, Coach Tiff Jones?
Let's go for ArrowVision. How
right
about
here
that?
on ArrowVision. We want to say thank you if you tuned in with us all night long. Thank you if you tuned in just for this game. We always appreciate everybody who watches our streams. I want to say thank you to our amazing crew. Shout out to Madison Dildine, who did a great job tonight, of course, for Coach Tiff Jones. I'm Dylan Rivera, and we will catch you on Tuesday night when they take on Sapulpa.